It's finally WrestleMania week, and we're here to preview night one of this weekend's WrestleMania 37. Alexis, Carrillo here, back with the more ACB Wrestling Talk, and as you can see, I made a few changes, obviously, big picture-wise. I'm right here wearing my AJ Styles shirt, and I can't wait to catch WrestleMania 37, not Saturday, not Sunday, but I'll pretty much be watching it maybe Sunday night. I'll be watching both shows, possibly if I find the time. But anyhow, it's time to preview night one of WrestleMania 37. We've got a hell of a card for that night on its own. 7 matches for each card. So let's get right to it. And I'm going to preview, and I'm going to try to predict the very first match, which is a very unusual match. Again, it's a celebrity tag team match involving the team of Bad Bunny and Damian Priest versus The Miz and John Morrison. Now, this is a very easy, very simple match to preview because, honestly, do you really think that they're going to have Bad Bunny lose at WrestleMania? You think that's going to be good publicity for WWE and for Bad Bunny himself to lose on the grandest stage of them all, even if it is against a former WWE champion like The Miz and former tag team champions in the team of Miz and Morrison? But one of the things that I think that they should be more concerned about is making Damian Priest look like a badass, making him look like a bona fide star on the grandest stage of them all. Because make no mistake about it, they're not gonna have Bad Bunny do most of the work in the match. As a matter of fact, I think the story of the match is gonna be Miz and Morrison handicap 2-on-1 on Damian Priest for most of the contest. Bad Bunny won't get involved that much. He might get a big spot. That's gonna land a lot of reels on entertainment shows. But at the end of the day, Damian Priest and Bad Bunny have to get that win to get those headlines, to get that publicity. So that's what I'm going with right here, right now. Bad Bunny and Damian Priest over The Miz and Morrison. We got ourselves a steel cage match between Braun Strowman and Shane McMahon. And honestly, if Braun Strowman doesn't win this, it's going to be a very, very tough hurdle for him to, get over in the next few weeks, in the next few months for the monster among men, the Strowman Express. Frankly, if you ask me, if you talk about a guy like Braun Strowman, he is in the vein of the Big Show, of Kane, of those big guys that, can work a match and can give you results, and hell, they can even carry the title for a few months, for a few weeks, but they're never going to be the top guy themselves. They're never going to be the face of the company. It doesn't matter how hard they try, it doesn't matter how hard the company pushes them. And I think we've got to go all the way back to 2012 when they tried to push Sheamus. There's nothing wrong with Sheamus. He's a fantastic main event star, but he's not top guy material. He's not the face of the company material. So, just for this steel cage match, unless Shane McMahon comes up with something else, something out of nowhere, I think Braun Strowman takes this one easy. There will be a story to it, obviously, because if there isn't a story, if there isn't some underhanded tactic to this match, then it's just going to be Braun Strowman beating the hell out of Shane McMahon for 5, 10, 15 minutes, and what's the fun in that? One match that I'm particularly excited about, Cesaro versus Seth Rollins. This is going to be a technical masterpiece. 2 Ring of Honor alumni. I love how WWE's SmackDown writing team has been working on building momentum for Cesaro. They've been giving him some big wins, some big moments, especially against Daniel Bryan. I appreciate that, and maybe on the road to SummerSlam or a lesser pay-per-view, Cesaro might get a chance, might get a shot at a mid-card title, or hell, maybe even the main event title. But as of right now, you know, the easy choice would be to have Cesaro beat Seth Rollins. You know, have him defeat the leader of the division, the chosen one. What's Seth Rollins calling himself again this week? I'm not sure, but it would be a little bit too easy, too simple of a hurdle for Cesaro to climb and to go over Seth Rollins. So, and you should have some you should have some heels going over in all of these matches. So I'm gonna go with Seth Rollins beating Cesaro, maybe, you know, with cheating, with, you know, a little distraction over here, maybe by Murphy, who knows. But this rivalry between Cesaro and Rollins should go on after WrestleMania, and I think it will go on after WrestleMania. And for that to happen, Seth Rollins needs to be the one getting the win over Cesaro. Moving on to our WWE Raw Tag Team Championship match. The New Day faces off against a team of AJ Styles and Omos. AJ Styles, baby. But, you know, as much as they're going to protect Omos, as much as they're trying to show us his personality, which again has been entertaining in some moments, not so much, a little bit forced in others, I think WWE should go with their safe choice. They should go with the actual tag team for this match, keep them as a tag team champions. The New Day take the cake. Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods take this match itself. Other than that, AJ Styles takes the pin. No mistake about it. If AJ Styles and Omos lose this match, which again I am predicting, if they do lose this match, AJ Styles has to take the pin. They're not going to have a giant like Omos take the pin. Omos, whatever, take the pin. I'm not sure how you pronounce his name. It's spelled Omos, and they pronounce it Omos on WWE TV. Again, go figure. But the New Day retains, in my book, they retain the Raw Tag Team Championship. Moving on to the Tag Team Turmoil match, where the winner will receive a WWE Women's Tag Team Championship match at Night 2 this Sunday at WrestleMania 37. We've got 4 teams, which means we've got 4 options, and I'm gonna list them off in least likely. So number 4, I think, in my book, in my opinion, again, these are just my predictions, the team that has the least chance of winning this match and actually heading on to Night 2 to challenge for the Women's Tag Team Championships, I've got to give it to Natalya and Tamina. I think that they're going to be a strong team. They're going to be a team that gets in the way, and hell, they might even start the match and end it, but they're not going to be the team that goes through. I wouldn't book it that way. I honestly don't know why, but this team between Natalya and Tamina is the least interesting to me, and it's through no fault of them at all. It's just that WWE has given me no reason to care about the Natalya and Tamina team so far, and out of the 4 teams, I care a little bit more about the other 3. So number 3, again, a team I don't really care for, Dana Brooke and Mandy Rose. I honestly prefer Mandy Rose as a singles competitor, and I could honestly, take or leave Dana Brooke at this point. So with that said, I gotta give their 3rd spot to Dana Brooke and Mandy Rose, and I think the team that's gonna come out with the win at WrestleMania 37, and the team that will challenge for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships at WrestleMania, I gotta give it to the Riot Squad. They broke them up. They brought them back together. There's gotta be a reason to bring them back together, and the Women's Tag Team division honestly needs some bona fide tag teams. Lana and Naomi can wait. They gotta rebuild Lana's momentum that she had going into TLC that they sacrificed for returning Charlotte, because obviously Lana wasn't injured at all. That was just a storyline injury. But I think the Riot Squad takes this. I hope the Riot Squad takes this match and goes on to challenge Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax for for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships at Night 2 of WrestleMania. So that's, we've covered 5 of the 7 matches of this Night 1 of WrestleMania. Now we gotta get to the final 2, and the reason I am, trying to preview this particular segment of this preview, it's the fact that a lot of people are debating which one of these matches should main event, should actually close out the show of Night 1 at WrestleMania 37. And that is the WWE Championship Match or the SmackDown Women's Championship Match. Now, logic would dictate you gotta close the show with the WWE title match. You just gotta, right? It's your most prestigious title. It's a title that, has been main eventing WrestleManias for decades. At this point, you got Lashley, you got McIntyre. You got a winning formula, and you can't go wrong by having the WWE Championship Match close the show. But, and there's always a but, I think the rivalry, the program, the back and forth, the build-up that Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair have been having since the Royal Rumble match, since the Royal Rumble pay-per-view earlier this year, I think that warrants them to close the show. I think they make history and become only the second women's match to main event a WrestleMania night. Again, it won't be a WrestleMania event because it's a 2-night event, but they're going to be main eventing a WrestleMania night. So with that said, let's preview the WWE Championship Match. What is my prediction? Who walks out with the WWE title out of the grandest stage of them all? Is it, the almighty, the current champion, Bobby Lashley, the man who WWE stupidly broke up the Hurt Business for? Or are we going to have a case of trying to build up a new top guy for WWE and for Monday Night Raw and have Drew McIntyre main event? Well, obviously I just said that he wasn't going to main event, but have him actually win the WWE Championship in his second WWE title match at WrestleMania in a row. Which one does WWE go for? It's a tough one. It really is. But I gotta give it to Bobby Lashley. I think Lashley needs to retain. I think that they need to really build him up. I think they need to establish him again. It could go either way. They could have Drew McIntyre beat Lashley, become WWE champion, and then try to build Lashley back up for a match down the line at SummerSlam against Brock Lesnar, which again, I want that match so bad. And that match wouldn't need a title involved, especially if you plan to put Lashley over, which should be the case, since Lashley is there week in and week out. But honestly, this match is a coin toss to me. It's a coin toss. If I had to pick one, gun to my head, if I had to pick one, I'd pick Bobby Lashley retaining, but again, it can go either way. And finally, like The Rock says, Sasha Banks defends her WWE SmackDown Women's Championship against Bianca Belair, the winner of the 2021 Women's Royal Rumble match. I've enjoyed the program. It's been very interesting how they've tried to involve Reginald and how tension has grown ever since they paired him up. And again, that's a tried and true formula. You pair up champion and challenger, you have them be a tag team, you have them challenge for the tag team titles. There's Ascension, and they eventually one turns on the other, and that builds some feud, that builds some heat between those opponents for the main event of whatever pay-per-view they're going to. It's a tried and true formula, and it might sound boring, but credit to these ladies, Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair. They've made it their own. They gave it their own twist. And again, I think, Sasha Banks has had one hell of a run. And can we just talk about why Bayley is not on any of these cards? She's not on night 1, she's not on night 2 at all. Why? How does that happen for Bayley? But again, putting that aside, I gotta give it to Bianca Belair becoming SmackDown Women's Champion. You gotta establish new stars. I think there'll be quite a bit of a riot on Twitter if Bianca Belair doesn't win the title on night 1. So, I'd give it to the EST of WWE, but that's not the end of this rivalry. So with that said, those are my predictions for night 1. What do you think? What do you think about, leave your predictions on the comment section below on each match. Tell me who you think will win each and every single match. Do you disagree with me on most of them? I'm sure you do, because everybody has different opinions, and if you do, go ahead and leave them in the comment section below. What do you think about Bayley not being on any card on WrestleMania this weekend? And Monday, Tuesday, I'll come back with the WrestleMania review. So with that said, that's been it for me. Tune in next time for night 2 predictions of WrestleMania 37. I've been Alexis. Have a great night.